March the 30th, 2023. Guys, you're looking at an article today coming in from Europe, but it's basically a worldwide article on all the mainstream media and everywhere. This is European again. It says civil war atmosphere in the U.S. Criminal charges were brought against Trump. And what happened, the grand jury voted to indict him today. It says the first American president to be brought to trial. Now, guys, you've got to realize that in Rome, there was a term called bread and circuses. Many of you are very familiar with that. And while we're watching this type of clown show, circus, there's a lot going on in the background. That's where we really need to pay attention, although this is going to create some things, but this is all for show. Right wing, same as the left wing. Remember, I told you I was a snake, or you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. Just remember that, and there's some other things that have gone on. Now, the grand jury voted to indict him, and DeSantis down in Florida said he would not participate in the extradition. He didn't say he would step in to stop it, and he didn't step in to stop anything that went on at Mar-a-Lago. So we know there's a political battle going on there, but again, bread and circuses. True Roman fashion. Create all of this nonsense. Keep all the mainstream media on this event and some other ones very similar, while the rest of the world is collapsing around us. Deutsche Bank is in trouble, the big boy in Europe. It could be filing for bankruptcy. In 2 days, the Fed card is getting ready to start out a slow rollout. Not really that slow, in July 1st, possibly becoming full-fledged. You've seen the videos on Fed now. And what they're doing is something they haven't talked about much, is they're going to outlaw currency once they implement it. In other words, you cannot use your cash. Already, I heard it talked about today, 5 or so of the federal parks, the big parks, national parks, will not take any form of currency anymore. It will be a card. The Fed card, again, will be implemented where you will be judged on your carbon footprint. You've already pumped too much gas to get to work or wherever, or your social credit score, which will be big time. And think about this, the people that are not banked. We're looking at a wave of chaos that we've talked about for at least a dozen years on this website. And that when all of this comes to a head, that when hunger hits the pit of billions of people around the world and millions here, there will be chaos, and that will be the civil war. But with the Deutsche Bank collapsing and the rollout in 2 days on April Fool's Day, the Fed card, we're going to see a complete takeover, and they're going to outlaw currency. That way there will be nothing that you can do that cannot be monitored or stopped with that card. It will have to be a trade and barter system outside of that. But we knew that was coming it's in Revelation. We've been talking about it. But if they start this in 2 days, the chaos is already set up. The people to create the chaos has been in place for a few years. And in the last few days, that has really become more impactful. We saw the event in Nashville, Tennessee at the school, right? And then we're seeing the blame go to against the Christian school that happened because of Christian doctrine. Always blame the victim. And there's been an army built behind that. Money that is behind the 2 major people that we saw in the last few years. Who were they? You know who they were. Billions of dollars behind that. And now with this new army of pro-trans, they have been recruiting for the military. It's not just what we see on the news. They are creating a situation to where there will be military-style conflict. We're seeing it being taught and professors being in trouble for teaching it's okay to kill the conservatives or someone that doesn't go along with your ideal. So we're on a very quick downhill slide right now, guys. The next couple of days are going to really be telling. Tomorrow's Friday in the stock markets. Monday they're rolling out the initiation of the Fed card, or Fed Now. But guys, there's a war brewing inside the U.S., and I don't think it's going to have much to do with this man right here. I think a lot of people are about disenfranchised with him as they are most other politicians. We've seen it too many times before. But none of this will matter, what you're seeing here. None of this will matter when the currency is gone and you're going to have that Fed card and you'll be allowed to use it. That way they don't have to account for the trillions of dollars that's been printed without backing. And guys, I guess it's time to prepare like you never have before, both physically, food, water, things like that, and other supplies, but spiritually, because the Christians are being attacked. We saw that in that event we're talking about in Nashville. And we're seeing those uprisings, and it's completely legit, just like we've seen from a couple of other groups for the last 3 years. Completely legit for that to happen. When anybody on the other side raises a voice, they're persecuted beyond belief, imprisoned. But that rising of the group that I'm talking about is happening very fast. They're putting forth manifestos and meetings and different things like that, guys. They're getting ready. A lot of, again, military people have been recruited into that organization. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the destruction of the U.S. military on purpose, with all the military equipment and trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, maybe more, being left in Afghanistan. So there's nothing here. They've taken away the protection here, and they're about to put forth that boot upon the neck of every human around the planet with this new currency situation. You eat and you obey if you want to eat. Let's put it that way. So things are about to get pretty rough. I hope everyone realizes that in your plans for your future, make sure you include this possibility of what I'm talking about. I won't keep you much longer, guys, but there are two major armies, I will say this, that are amassing major troops, Russia and China. It doesn't look like they're going to be needed here unless they're going against the population, because it's being taken down from the inside. We know that. Christianity's been attacked around the world, but now it's being attacked from inside the nation, and they're legitimizing it. Do you see where that's going? Guys, just food for thought. Think about it. It's a heads up. Be safe.